All right, welcome back to Necessary Roughness. I'm here with Trent and Andy, and we are going to review the national championship. What a game,
what a
boys!
Freaking game,
right?
huh?
Right?
Yeah, that was a good game.
That was an awesome game. It was so fun to watch. I mean, being a Hurricanes fan, dude. Of course, I was rooting for them, but I was so happy to see Indiana win their first national championship. Man, they earned it. What a great season! 16-0. It's only the second time this has happened.
Yeah.
In like the modern era. I don't even know if we want to call it the modern era. I mean, what was it? Yale back in.
This is the first time it's happened in the new college playoffs. And everyone was saying last year and the year before, oh, since we got these new brackets, it's never going to happen. Well, Cignetti proved y'all wrong. Now you can shut up and watch a 16-0 team do it. So,
well, and I even said it. Like I think I said in one of our episodes, I said we're never going to see another undefeated team like this. Like it's not going to happen. There's too many games. There's too many opportunities. You know, you get to the point where, especially with the NIL now, like the talent isn't sitting at one or two schools anymore like it used to. All the talent used to pool up. You know, back in the day when Miami was great. I mean, they were 4 and 5 deep at every position. It's not like that anymore. These guys are leaving. They're going and playing.
What it's doing now is it's getting these boys from down south to actually come up north because, it used to be cold and I don't want to be miserable coming from a Miami and Mississippi, Texas. Oh, you're going to pay me some money? Okay, let's do it.
Exactly.
I'm going to come up to the cold. I'll embrace it. I can be cold for a few $1 million.
Well, yeah, and they get the opportunity to start. They get the opportunity to showcase what they're able to do, and then they transfer to a bigger school from there because now everyone has seen them on a big stage. Like, hey, this guy is worth it. Let's bring him to Michigan, or let's bring him to Bama or Georgia, or
Yep.
The last team I just pulled it up: 1894 Yale Bulldogs. That's a long time ago, boys.
1894.
1894.
Yep. Last 16-0 team.
Crazy. But back to the game. That game was unreal.
It actually ends up going to a 16-0 team that has the losingest record in football history.
Yeah.
In college football history. I mean, this franchise has been known to suck for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it went to prove, like we talked last episode, that the Hoosiers were going to shell out for this game. These Indiana fans really wanted their team to win. And what did they do? They traveled to Miami, where it should have been a 60-40 crowd for the Canes. Instead, it was 60-40 for the Hoosiers.
Right.
And man, they used that, all the fans, everything, to get them to a spot where they were ready to go from the jump.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, from the first kickoff to the very second to last play, I should have to say, it was a nail biter the whole time. It was a really fun matchup. There was some good back and forth. I mean, honestly, this game was Miami's game. Was this game. Like, you kept it close. You had a gritty defense and a really hard fought trenches. Like, this is what you asked for if you were a Miami fan. Like, hey, how are we going to win this football? And you tell me, hey, it's going to be hard nosed, tough fought. You're closing your eyes and imagining the Natty going to Miami, but it didn't go that way. And I mean, it goes back to my point. And the big difference I felt in this game was just the undisciplinedness of Miami. It felt like they cost themselves yards. They cost themselves in situations. And every time the Hoosiers ended up backing up, it was just, boom, here's a big 20-yard play. Here's a big 30-yard play, and they got themselves out of it.
I'm gonna disagree on that a little bit because I feel like really the only difference in this game, when you really break it down, like the game was close the whole game. It went to halftime at what, 10-0. Miami missed that field goal at the end of the half.
Yep.
So you lose by 6 points. So right there's already 3.
Yep.
And then they had the blocked punt that was picked up in the end zone, which was 7 points. So you had a 10-point swing, but he lost by 6.
That goes to undisciplinedness. You watch the guard; he's not making a block on that.
I don't
like you whiff on the guy, and then that's what causes the block. So
yeah, I don't really think I would call it undisciplined though. I think it was more just Indiana executed when they got the opportunities. Miami did too, but Indiana just executed better. It seemed like you know what I mean. Like you had an opportunity to block a punt that close, and like I guess what I'm saying is I don't really see it as like I don't think they made like a mental error there like they were making in the other games.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
I think the guy who came in, he came in unblocked because the guy did not hit him. I mean, honestly, rewatch that video, and he just whiffs on him. He doesn't.
Yeah, he
doesn't
whiffed
hit him.
on
He doesn't.
but
He like was lazy on that play. Like, oh, we're gonna get the kickoff. It's not a big deal. And those kind of things come to haunt you, and that's exactly what it did.
yeah, it haunted him.
You lose by 6 points, like you said. You miss a field goal. All right, fine. There's 3, but then you give up a field goal, touchdown like that off of a block punt because you just gonna get lazy on the player, whatever the case was for that player. And now you're looking at that's 10 points you got to come back from there, and that could be the whole difference in the game. But I mean, the real big difference to me happened really late in the game, and that was that last Mendoza touchdown. That 4th and 5 where they took the timeout, and they had the field goal team on, and Curt Cignetti said, "All right, I'm just not feeling good about this. Let me take a timeout." Well, and then he calls it, and Mendoza, I mean, he ran over 3 guys. He just was not going to be denied.
Well, and when he
dove
took
into
off,
the end zone, it was just crazy.
He took off. And it was a called run. It wasn't like he dropped back to pass and then nothing was open, so he took off. Like that was definitely a QB draw.
Well, and that's what Cignetti said. He said they just called a different blocking scheme for the quarterback run. And once he got hit, I mean, he would have gotten the first down anyway, but it was just past the first down that he gets hit and then just shucks it and says, nope, I'm going to dive the rest of the way into the end zone. And that's just good presence of mind. That's a Heisman right there. Heisman play. Like, I'm just not going to be denied. We're going to win the championship.
That is good players stepping up when it matters most.
Yes.
And that's how you win championships.
Exactly.
Right
what was your thought on that play, Andy? Like when you saw that play, I mean, were you thinking this game's over at this point, or were you thinking like, I guess I don't know what else you would think. To me, it was kind of like, oh man, dude, they just sealed it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that, but you can't count Miami out. I mean, clearly they've showed through this entire college football playoff that they are a force to be reckoned with.
Well,
And I guess I just lost my train of thought, but anyway.
It happens.
Miami, I knew they were going to go down without a fight, and it came down to the last play of the game.
Right.
I mean, you can't help but feel for Beck throwing that interception.
I agree. Like honestly,
you just gotta feel bad for him. But for a great season to come down to that, you just can't help but feel for him.
Well, not only that, but it goes down to execution. I'm sorry again, Zach. I know it's your team, but it just comes down to execution because he went to throw it to the guy, and he didn't even look back because he knew he was double covered. And just, I'm not going to get the ball. Well, you got to still keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Because it was just
underthrew it.
Yes. Well, that was what it was supposed to be, a curl route. So he's like, I'm just going to keep running and get these defenders away from everybody else on the other side of the field. And I'm not even going to look back at the ball. And then what happens? We just lost the game because it was a pick and he was coming to me.
I feel like,
and like that Mendoza run, like you were asking Andy, I really didn't feel like it cemented the game, but it made it that much harder for Miami to come back because you had to go against this tough Hoosiers defense and score a touchdown. I mean, the Hoosiers would have been up, what was it at that point in the game? 6 points. So it would have been 3-point lead that they'd have had.
And another thing, that roughing the passer penalty, I thought that was going to screw Indiana there for a minute, but it ended up not.
Well, and honestly, I mean, I've gone back and forth on this. What are your thoughts, Zach? But I thought the reason why they called that roughing the passer was because it was kind of a BS delay a game. And so it was just felt like, okay, we kind of let Mendoza get killed in the first, and we've been letting you play all game, but we're going to call this roughing the passer because you guys are so far back. It's not really going to affect the end of the game, and it didn't. But we're going to call this and give you the first down anyway because we kind of put you behind the sticks on this one. I felt like it was kind of the refs giving them a gimme, like, okay, we screwed you with 5-yard penalty on that drive. Let's restart and go from there.
I don't know if it was really a gimme. I mean, it was a roughing the passer. I mean, he threw the ball, his arm was down. I don't agree with the roughing the passer calls to begin with. I think they're way too protective of quarterbacks these days. So like in all reality, I disagree with it because I don't think they should have called it to begin with. I think they should not call.
Well, I mean, if you didn't call the one that happened on Mendoza in the first, where he's getting hit in the windpipe, it's like, how do you call that one then in this particular scenario? So that's kind of why I felt like it was more of a, all right, we're going to let the boys play, but we called this one as a gimme just because, we don't want this to go down and you guys pointing the fingers at us like we screwed you. And kind of ending like a Broncos-Bills kind of game, you know?
That's just it. I'm tired of seeing officials deciding games with bullshit calls or
but I don't really
whatever.
I don't really feel like it was a gimme though. I get your point, but I feel like it was more it was a roughing the passer by the rules. So it's like, they called it. They should call it. My biggest thing is like if you're gonna call when you're reffing, if you're gonna call calls, call all the calls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't
be consistent the entire night.
One-sided,
right?
Yeah. And so that's why I felt like, well, we weren't calling roughing the passer at all through this game, and we finally did, and it just kind of felt like, all right, we're gonna give something that's gonna give you the first down. And we can wash away that delay of game. Because, I mean, it was kind of a cluster when that whole thing happened. And then, all right, you're starting 5 yards back on the potential game tying or game winning, depending on your extra point afterwards. And, all right, we got to do something for this.
Right. I get your point. But like I said, I think they called the right call. I just think, if you're going to call it, you got to call it all game. Don't wait till the last couple minutes to start calling everything. Like just call a penalty or a foul penalty, whatever when it happens.
And that's the most annoying thing in most of these games, like especially these big time championship games. It seems like that's when the refs pop out the most, and that's why it kind of leads to the argument of like the NFL, rigged. Like, well, why would you be calling no penalties all game long, and then the very end when it matters and you happen to slide under the point spread or something, it feeds into the conspiracy, right?
Oh yeah.
And I feel like if you're gonna do that, you got to be consistent all game long. You got to call the holdings that are holdings. You got to call, and if you're not going to, then you got to let them play the entire time under the same umbrella. Like, we're not going to call holdings. We're not going to call pass interference. We're not going to call defensive holding. Get over it. You guys are playing with each other all night. You guys are settling on the field.
Well, and I do feel like the reffing was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was.
Overall, in the game, it was a good ref game. Obviously there was mistakes, and like you said, like these big games, like it seems like it's that there's a lot of scrutiny and stuff. You got to also remember, everybody's focused on one game, so they're going to scrutinize everything in these big games because it's the only game on. So. It does make more sense as it seems like, like you said, like it seems like these big games, the reffing is getting, it's not as good or it's being scrutinized. I don't know if it's necessarily that it's not as good. I think it's just that there's so much more eyes on it and spotlights and everyone is nitpicking every little thing.
You wouldn't nitpick it if it was them calling it consistently the entire game. It seems like the fourth quarter is all of a sudden when the flags get unlocked and the whistles get unlocked from the refs. They're like, we're finally able to start blowing these things and call penalties and get our airtime. I mean, it just seems like it's kind of weird that, like, it seemed like the first few penalties that kind of happened in that game, undisciplined penalties, happened really kind of like in the first, maybe going into the second for the Canes. That really helped with that first touchdown drive by IU, and then it just seemed like the whistles were swallowed until the fourth quarter, right close to the end, and then we're getting involved left and right.
Yeah, and we see it across all the leagues too. I mean, the reffing is there's we could see better, but we've also seen worse.
It's getting to be atrocious. Some of these refs need to either get investigated for gambling and whatnot. It's getting out of hand.
But let's get into some of these stats though. Like, so Mendoza didn't really have a huge game, in all honesty. Like, he had some really huge impact plays, but I thought he would throw for more yardage. Like he went 16 for 27 for 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and he was sacked 3 times.
But I mean, honestly, it felt like that was IU's game plan. Like, I don't understand why they didn't throw it more. But it just seemed like they were forcing the run game. It didn't matter that they were getting stuffed. I mean, they were getting stuffed.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was like shaking my head. you guys could be up 30, 40 points right now if you kept throwing the ball, because it seemed like that's what Miami was giving up, because Miami liked to play that kind. And I guess that's probably going into it, looking at the defense of Miami likes to play this kind of game where we shut up your run game, you guys quit on it, get tired of it, and that's where we get our picks, and that's where we start doing defensive plays. I mean, you start throwing the ball, and then you have to throw through tight windows, and you think you got to force something, and it was just Cignetti saying, nope, we're going to slow the game down, we're going to keep running it, we're going to keep just chipping away at it, 1 yard, 2 yard, whatever, then we'll try to get it on the third down. And it seemed like Mendoza just kept making the plays to either extend drives or like that QB run where just huge play ends up winning the game with that touchdown.
I think more so like with Miami's defense, the way they play, like I think the big thing was I think Cignetti did go into this game like, hey, we're not going to pass a lot because this defensive line is going to hit us all night. And they did. They were hitting Mendoza hard. Yeah. I mean, they were getting in there. It felt like almost every play the DNs were in there, or the D tackle comes up the middle. Like
he was getting put on the ground every time he throw the ball. It was just, hey, expect your quarterback to be peeling himself off the ground because we're coming, and we're making some plays. So
and then Carson Beck, I was impressed with Carson Beck. 19 for 32, 232 yards, a touchdown, and then obviously the interception at the end, which I don't really fault him for that interception. You know, I feel like, hey, like. You've got, I can't remember what exactly it was, but you got like 50 seconds on the clock, 40 seconds. We're trying to win this game. We're going to press it. We're going to go down here. We're going to call a play. And I feel like on that throw, I feel like he threw it knowing his receiver was going to be there, and it didn't really matter if he was in double coverage. I don't care. We're taking the shot, and we're going to see if we can win.
Well, and you look at it as like he expected the curl route and his receiver to go back, and it's just like his receiver saw double coverage on him and said, I'm not going to get the ball. He's not going to throw it to me, and that's just happened to be where he went. It was just pulling the trigger too quick, and that was it. And that's what happens when you're down to the last 20 seconds in the game. Right. Like you've got to make knee-jerk reactions, and it was probably one of those that Beck's just sitting there going, I wish I would have sold that one and we'd have gotten one more play at this thing.
And like I said, I don't fault him for it. The guy played a great game. He had a really good playoff.
Yep.
I was actually really impressed with him through the playoffs. Let's get down to the rushing, though. Kalon Black, 17 attempts, 79 yards. That guy's a beast. He was running he ran good.
He kept peeling himself off the mat because he was getting hit. I mean, those boys from Miami were hitting hard.
Yep.
I mean, every time it seemed like he would get an extra yard or two, and you're like, man, that's impressive. And it was only a 3-yard gain. Like, holy cow. I mean, you got to give the kudos to Fletcher for Miami. If I'm going to talk about the running backs this game, we really should focus more on him just because he seemed to be the difference maker for Miami.
Yes.
It was just one of those.
Fletcher's a stud.
He opened up the game so much for Beck because now you have to honor our run game. It seemed like that was really what opened up these deep passes because then it sucked up them linebackers where they had to honor, all right, you just burned us for what was that touchdown run? 50-plus yards, 60?
57 yards.
Yeah, 57-yard run. I mean, now it's got IU on their heels. Every time they see you touch the ball, every time they see you fake it, it was just, oh, man. And then it seemed like the IU guys, they just kept circulating through their guys. So, I mean, the fact that he ended up with 79 yards was impressive for the IU running back. But Fletcher, man, he was a huge difference maker, and he was just finding holes and making them pay.
Well, and so Kalon Black had 79 yards, and then Roman Hemby also had 19 carries for 60 yards. Neither of them scored a touchdown. The rushing touchdown was Riley Nowakowski.
And Mendoza.
It was and Mendoza, yep. But Fletcher, I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Fletcher did exactly what I called in the episode before. I said I'm expecting roughly 120 yards and a touchdown. He went for 117 or 112 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy he reminds me a lot of Derrick Henry. I'm not gonna lie to you. He runs so angry and just like
he finds that hole and punishes it.
He's a beast, man. But I really thought Fletcher was the star of the game. Other than Mendoza. Mendoza was the star of the game. Let's not kid ourselves here. Mm-hmm. Mendoza, like I said, he didn't have great passing stats because they didn't really pass a lot, but The guy just made every play that he had to make in the moment. And to me, what I saw out of Mendoza in that game was, I'm ready for the big show. I'm ready to go to the NFL. I'm ready to take a franchise and start winning. And I'm not going to say it's unfortunate that he's going to the Raiders. Obviously, I'm not a Raiders fan, but I don't want to see his career get ruined going number one. But I see a lot of potential in this guy.
Well, and maybe it won't. I mean, look at him. He's a good enough quarterback.
Right.
He's gonna be poised enough, I think, in the NFL where this kid's gonna come out and he's gonna understand. Okay, I don't have to force balls. He's not gonna be like your Carson Wentz's, where it's I got this cannon attached to my right shoulder and I can fit it through any hole I want. I'm gonna pick my passes. All right, this one's just not gonna work. I'm gonna throw it away. I'll take the sack. We'll live to fight another down. And that's kind of what this game proved to be, where he just realized, okay, we're going to keep running the ball. And then when I need to make a big play, I'll make the big play. I'll find the guy, or I'll take the loss and we'll punt the ball because we have a good enough defense.
Right.
And I mean, him going to that Raiders team, as long as they can keep Crosby over there, I think they're going to be a solid team. But you're talking about Crosby that is really angry with them at the end of this season because like, hey, I'm trying to get my money and you're not going to play me the last week, 2 weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think he's definitely going to go number one. And
he's definitely going number one.
Maybe somebody will trade up for him, but
I mean, I've argued it in other episodes and stuff. I think the best talent in this draft is Ruben Bain. I think he's the best player coming out, but Mendoza's going to go number one. We know that. And I think he's worthy of it. He played great this year, man. He had a really solid year. Andy, what was your thoughts on Fletcher? I mean, that guy's a beast, man.
Yeah, he's a beast. He freaking runs all over. I mean, it takes the whole freaking team to get him down.
Right.
Really.
And he threw some stiff arms in this playoffs, dude, that were just like I said, it reminded me a lot of Derrick Henry. The way he plays, he's
really fun to watch.
Oh,
really
absolutely.
Is.
And he's fast. I did not realize how fast Mark Fletcher was, man. When he broke out on that 57-yard run,
he took off. It was just like you see that IU guy sprinting his heart out to try to catch him, and he was just gaining more and more yards on him. It was just like, oh man, he's pulling away.
At the end, he like turned on the burners those last like 8 yards. I think he realized like, oh, he's catching me like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, this guy's fast, dude.
Yeah.
He's faster than I thought.
And as a former offensive lineman, watching guys run that, it just fires
right?
me up.
Oh, I'm sure you.
And I mean, that one was
loving it.
blocked to perfection. You watch that just right out the outside and then squirt out and goodbye. We're out of here. And then you have your receiver on the edge doing the job of blocking. What a perfect block just to let him go and let him do his magic.
Yep.
I like to watch the receivers that actually go block somebody when they're not going out for a route and just, I'm not going to touch anybody. And then they go lay the wood. That is so freaking awesome.
The guys that aren't selfish. It's not all about them.
I'm not going to go play patty cake. I'm going to actually get this block, make sure I'm not holding. I'm going to do my disciplined assignment. And what happens? You end up usually getting rewarded where, all right, now you get the ball from the quarterback. He's going to throw you an extra ball. It seems to break your way better that way.
Right.
So for all you receivers out there, I mean, you got to lay the wood when you're called to make the block because that could be the difference right there. Your block is the difference between, all right, this got 20 yards or we just scored a touchdown and we're in this game.
So down to the receiving now. Omar Cooper had a good game, 5 for 71. Charlie Becker, that guy came up with some crazy catches late in that game. Like that guy is a clutch player.
Where it mattered most.
Yes, he did. He is a clutch player.
He had that back shoulder catch, did he not?
I mean, that
one he was draped all night long, and it seemed like, man, I was sitting there watching, and I was like, that would be tough for even NFL receivers to make those catches, and he just kept finding a way. He's like, did he? Oh, he did catch that. Holy cow! That was a really good catch. Like I would have thought it hit the ground.
Well, and he's a guy that they were talking about it in the broadcast. He's a guy that Cignetti actually talked into staying there. He was going to transfer out when Cignetti came, go find a different school to go to. And Cignetti's like, no, stay here and win.
Yep.
Like, earn that spot, stay here and win. And he did. He made it happen. I was really impressed with him all through the playoffs. He made, he never had crazy stats in any game, but he made plays where it mattered. He came up big in clutch moments. A guy that I was
That's
actually
what makes great players great players.
Exactly.
Stepping up when it matters
exactly.
most. Making the play.
One of the guys
sick catches.
Exactly.
And if you have faith in a program, I mean, you look at Tom Brady, it's like you take the pay cut, you end up taking the sacrifice, and look how he was rewarded for it. You
Right.
stick around, and now you're holding up a natty.
Yep. One of the guys that I was kind of, I'm not going to say disappointed because he had a great season. He had a great playoffs, but I was kind of surprised. Elijah Surratt didn't really do much in this game. He had 3 for 28, and then he had that one drop. That was a crucial drop.
Mm-hmm.
That ball,
drops are crucial.
I've never seen him really drop a pass like that. I was kind of like, man, what's going on here? But let's go over to the Miami receivers.
Just one of those things, though. It seems like when it's your night, and when it's not,
Right.
it's not. So it's one of those, all right, well, we know it's not your night, so we're going to go to our next guy, and it just happened to play that way all night long.
Yep. CJ Daniels had a pretty good game, 4 for 62. He had a long of 25, but man, Malachi Toney, this kid is a true freshman. He should be a senior in high school right now. 10 for 122 and a touchdown.
As long as you guys can lock him down, that he's going to be a scary receiver.
He's not going anywhere, dude. He's a Miami kid. He's from Miami.
I know. I'm just saying he's going to get some NIL offers. And
he will.
And if he decides to stay, awesome. But if he ends up going somewhere else, this kid is going to be a player to watch for the next few years.
Yeah, he was very impressive. He was impressive all season. I could be wrong, but I remember seeing before the playoffs started, I remember seeing a stat, or actually it might have even been in like maybe the first round, but I remember seeing a stat. They were saying Malachi Toney broke the record for a Miami freshman receiver, yards, touchdowns, and receptions. That's impressive.
I can believe it.
That's impressive.
The kid's a stud.
And then, get down to some of the defensive stats. Miami, Ruben Bain, dude, 5 solo tackles, 3 assisted, so 8 total. He had a sack for 8 yards. Like, I don't see. I was trying to find the pressures. The guy had to have 7 or 8 pressures on the quarterback. I mean,
well, I believe wasn't he in on one of those sacks on Mendoza? I mean, that one could have been a huge game changer if he'd have got that ball free from him.
Right.
I mean, it just seemed like Mendoza found a way to hold on to it.
Yep.
But that could have swung it because you were deep on Indiana side of the field. Like, that one changes this game. Like you said, 6 points, you drop 10. That could be a whole game's changer right there. You're talking about, all right, now we just got an extra possession in this game and an extra 7 points just because we got a fumble on that side of the field.
Yep. And then Akeem Mesidor, the D end on the other side, he had two sacks for 15 yards. So those 2 D ends, dude, 3 sacks, they took away 23 yards in total. I mean, that's a big impact on
that's pretty significant.
Well, I think they're going to definitely make it to the next level. These guys got some really good speed.
Are they seniors or what are they?
I think they're both seniors. I think they're actually both redshirt seniors, if I remember right. I know Ruben Bain's out for sure.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Mesidor's out for sure too.
I do believe so. I mean, once these guys go, I would really expect to see them go pretty high in the draft as well, where I see at least Bain going. I'm not sure about Mesidor. He might slide down just because you got such a really good talent pool, but
no,
I think he's going to be a solid edge rusher as well for you.
I think Mesidor's a lock to go in the first round. It'll be later in the first round, but I think he's a lock. He played really well this season, and I don't see him slipping to the second round. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, man, what a great game. Yeah.
And to think this all could have been avoided because they were going to try to put Notre Dame in over Miami. Look how wrong that decision would have been.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely. You're going to try to say that Notre Dame deserved to be in this because week 1 didn't count. Well, look what the heck happened.
Right.
Miami football has been revived this season.
Yes.
You allowed these guys to go in a 10 seed, and they probably should have took Bama's spot, to be honest. I mean,
Bama was garbage.
Yeah.
And you end up hanging in there and putting up the fight that nobody expects. I mean, you end up beating Texas A&M. That was a really windy game, and it's like, you can blame whatever you want. Oh, we didn't have really good performance. We didn't throw the ball. Well, no one was throwing the ball good that game. No one was kicking field goals that game.
Right.
And even at that, with that kind of environment, Miami had way more chances to score, and then they did. That's what caused them to go to the next round. And then you end up punching Ohio State in the mouth. No one saw that one coming.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you have a huge pick six that completely swings this game in your favor. And then you go in and play Ole Miss. And like I said last week, if it was really disciplined football on their side, it would have ended up exactly like Oregon versus Indiana. I think it would have been a huge blowout. Instead, those mistakes just kind of kept Ole Miss in the game, but it wasn't anything that Ole Miss was going to be able to capitalize on.
Yeah.
And then this last game, it just proved Miami deserved to be in the bowl. I mean, you're talking about a team of Indiana who was just curb stomping everybody they played. And then they come in and play Miami, and it's a nail biter. It's a nail biter. You're holding your breath as an IU fan, and as a Miami fan, your heart's probably pounding because you're like, we're about to win this thing. Watch us go on this game-winning drive. Right at the end, down to the second to last play of the game. I mean, you're in that game the entire way.
Right.
And it was, for anybody who doesn't really care to watch football, this one was definitely one that I think an instant classic. It was absolutely everything you wanted. It wasn't one of them Georgia TCU beatdowns. It was, we're going to have a back and forth nail biter, and we just kept going. Like, you guys scored a touchdown. All right. Miami just ended up rolling up their sleeves and said, watch, we're going to score a touchdown right here. Oh, you're going to get a field goal. We're going to go down, score a field goal. We're going to do whatever it takes to try to stay in this game and win it. And I mean, Cignetti at the end of that game, he probably had to have the biggest sigh of relief once that interception happened, because it was that close from being 16-0 to 15-1 and losing by a point.
Yeah, and it was a great game. I mean, what was your thoughts, Andy? What was your thoughts on like just the whole game in general?
My thoughts, the whole game, it was a really good game. Miami definitely deserved to be there. We need to get rid of this committee bullshit. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I think we got to go
to the committee, get a full-on bracket.
Yeah, 25 teams. First team, number
that's
one.
A conversation. For
number
day,
one gets
right.
the bye, and we just go from there.
Yep. But no,
both teams played awesome. Mendoza, he's a baller. Beck, he played good. Both teams have a really good run game.
yes. Oh,
Fletcher, I mean, that old line was busting holes open. He was making plays out of absolutely nothing, still gaining 4 or 5 yards. It's like, where's this guy coming from?
Oh, I know.
It's
just
insane.
He impresses me, man. I really think he's going to be a good running back to the next level. There was a lot of NFL talent in this game. Like, there was a lot of players that are going to be there next year. Miami's got a lot of guys coming back, but they are losing a lot of talent though.
Mm-hmm.
But Miami, the good thing about Miami is Florida is a hotbed for recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
And with Miami being back like this and playing the way they are, a lot of, like I've said in other episodes, like a lot of those kids are going to start staying home. This team is back. They're playing at a national championship level. I mean, they dang near won the national championship.
Yep.
This team is here to stay. But the big thing I think a lot of people are kind of, I don't want to say overlooking, because I think people are seeing it now, but the Big Ten is the conference to compete with right now. I mean, they are the superior conference in college football. This is 3 years in a row, 3 different teams. We had Michigan, we had Ohio State, and now we got Indiana.
2 of them undefeated. I mean,
right.
Michigan and Indiana undefeated take their championship, and Ohio State. And it just seems like Big Ten beats up each other, and then they find a way. Whoever ends up coming out of that is going to be the juggernaut you don't want to face.
Yep.
And usually it seems like whoever's coming out of it is also bringing 3. He's bringing 3 of his not so good friends.
Well, and
right.
This Indiana team's here to stay. This team is going to be really good next year. When I say they're here to stay, I'm not meaning like these 2 teams are going to play in the national championship every year for the next several years. No, What
as
I
long
mean
as
is these
Cignetti's going to
teams-
be there, they're going to have some sort of standing where they're going to be a solid team that you have to circle on your
Right.
schedule, and it's no longer going to be a lollipop that you see. Oh, we're going to easily walk all over
Yep,
Indiana.
not a homecoming
Now you got
game.
now you got to watch them like the Hawkeyes, where it's just all right. Yeah, they don't really get anywhere, but you got to be careful of them.
Yeah,
just
they're
'cause
dangerous
They're a
every
dangerous
game.
team, and he seems to bring that fire. But to your point, Miami, I feel like this game was scarier for everyone else in the ACC just because now you have Miami, beautiful, hot area to be. You got people who came from there who are super famous and they have money and they want to see their team win.
Yep.
And they're on the sidelines there and they're rooting their guys on. And then you got NIL that's going to be coming in. And what do players want? They want that money from NIL. Well, you're going to get more of it when you're not getting state taxed. So that's even more incentive. You got nice warm weather versus coming up here to cold country. And then on top of it, you got a solid head coach.
Yeah.
I think Miami and Indiana are going to be, I mean, let's not say that they're going to be playoff contenders every year, but I think they're going to be exactly like Georgia, where you got Kirby Smart there. You're going to be a contender for at least the next 10 years.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the point I'm making. Like, I don't think they're going to literally play in the championship every year, but I definitely think these teams are going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be making it, deep into the playoffs every year. Indiana, they've already started going into the transfer portal and bringing guys in to replace the guys that are leaving. This Indiana team is going nowhere. Cignetti has already said he's not interested in an NFL job. He wants to stay at the college level. He wants to stay at Indiana, and I hope he does, because it is so cool seeing a team like Indiana be good, man. Like, I know we've made the joke, basketball school. This is a football school.
Yep.
This is a Midwest football school ready to, to just tough, hard-nosed football. Miami, like you said, hot, the beaches, like this place, they're going to attract all the skill players. Like, these are going to be two nasty teams to play against for years and years to come. And it's going to be fun to watch, man. This was a great game. This was one of the better, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a Miami fan. This was one of the better championships I've seen in a long time. A lot of people going in this game thought Indiana was just going to walk all over Miami, and I was like, that's not going to happen, guys. Like, I know we joked about it on the last episode too. Like, when you said, this is going to be a BTA game, I was like, I don't think so, man. Like, I really think this is going to be one of those, whoever has the ball last whoever had the ball last didn't technically win, but you know what I mean? Like, it's going to come down to that last drive. This is going to be
Indiana
one of those
had the ball
games.
last, I do believe.
Well, they
There was
did.
at least one
I guess
play there.
technically they did.
I think I saw it. I had to dive forward for a yard.
But no, I mean, I definitely had a feeling going into this game. It was going to be a close game.
This one
So
wasn't
is,
really.
Mendoza's little brother taking over then next season? Or how old's he?
So he's still there, I believe. I don't know what class he is, because Mendoza's I
I think he's
believe
a sophomore. Is he
senior.
not?
I think his brother's a sophomore, but they did just get the. Let me look him up real quick. They did just get a transfer quarterback, I think from. I want to say Northwestern, but that doesn't sound right. Let's see, Indiana.
Well, anyway, so this game, it really turned out to not be a BTA game. It ended up being a super trench warfare game. It was just whoever was going to control the trenches all night was going to win it, and it just seemed like that run game was going in your guys' favor. I honestly, when that last possession happened, it was like I wanted Indiana to win just because I wanted America's sweetheart to win. I was really behind this team.
Right.
And I was sweating bullets. Like, here's where Carson Beck is going to end up putting the dagger in and just deflating this Indiana team. And it came down to the trenches were won by Miami. I honestly believe that full-heartedly. They won the run game. They dominated the defense. I mean, they did everything they could to win this game. It just came down to bad luck. You end up getting a blocked punt that should have just been a punt. So that's 7 points against you right there. You end up missing a field goal. I mean, it happens. I mean, a Ravens fan, I know the pain.
You know the pain.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've experienced it.
It does happen.
And
it's bound to happen.
They end up rolling their sleeves up, going down 10-0 at the half, and it didn't matter. You guys are still in it to the very last dash of the game, and it just happened to be, all right, you're throwing a pass, and that's where the ball ends up landing, is in IU's hands. You honestly, you take that back. Maybe he oversells the ball. Maybe he does a CJ Stroud and skips it.
Yeah.
Like, if they do that, you guys might be hoisting that natty yourselves. Like,
Right.
if ifs were candy and nuts, we'd all be having a Merry Christmas. But it's not. So we have to embrace the reality that it is.
So Indiana went out and got TCU's quarterback Josh Hoover. He's transferring in. And I actually didn't know this till I just looked it up, but Alberto Mendoza actually transferred to Georgia Tech.
Oh,
So he's going down to take over for Haynes King down there, which is actually probably really good for him. I hope he starts, and I hope he does really well down there. Georgia Tech's another up and coming team. They looked pretty good this year. Yeah, I mean, final thoughts, guys. I mean, let's wrap this up.
I just need the Gophers to start winning. It's going to be tough being in the Big Ten.
Right. Yep.
you better become a multimillionaire so you can give some NIL money over there and get you a coach like Cignetti. I mean, my final thoughts is I'm just looking back at this and I'm looking at the brackets myself. And I think Big Ten is here to stay. They've planted their flag. They have taken over. Sorry, SEC, your time is in the past. You're getting buried now because Big Ten is here. And I just think looking at this, you gotta question having Tulane take that spot there and JMU. I mean, yeah, they deserved it. They had an undefeated schedule, but look at their pancake schedule. It was nothing to write home about. You're not in the top 12. What are you doing in those spots? I think the committee's got to figure something out as far as this goes. And the reason why is because this leads to my ultimate point is we shouldn't be having a debate of whether Notre Dame or a natty team comes in, which was the Canes. Like, the Canes deserve this spot all the way, and somehow they don't even get an ACC championship shot at their own division. Astronomically insane to me. But okay, you're talking about a team. It just seems like the AFC, like I've said, the ACC seems to have the deck stacked against them.
Yeah,
you got SEC and Big Ten, and it seems like that's where the money's at. So that's what everyone wants to promote, and that's where all the talent is. But then look at these guys. Like, it's going to be a lot harder for your Clemsons when they finally get good. Your Miami's now Miami's actually here to stay. So let's see if they can keep sustaining it, because if you can do that, then it puts that flag there where Miami's constantly in the talk like Notre Dame is, where you want them there. You got the fans behind them. You got people who want to see them. And Notre Dame, I mean, the reason why that was such an argument, it seems like, was because the money was behind them. You can't film or watch any of their games nationally unless you have the TV rights. And nobody has the TV rights to the Independent except for, I can't remember was it CBS or something like that? So it's like...
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but...
It's like, my honest takeaway is, look what this championship could have been if we could have had a garbage championship. I mean, Notre Dame was okay last year, but it just seemed like they were getting walked all over by Ohio. And then it was gonna be the same way this year. That was not a team that was gonna do anything.
Right.
And instead you have a Miami team who goes in, who was the better team, and they barely get in. Right at the deadline, come through the door, and you could be having a completely different conversation. My goodness, Indiana is so great because they just steamrolled everybody, but they actually go against an ACC team that wasn't supposed to be here in the first place because everyone had to get the deck stacked against them. And then because the fans, thank you guys for coming out and representing Miami, because this was spectacular, but the fans, I think, persuaded the league to make that decision and allow them to come in. And what a game we got out of it.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. Andy, any final thoughts on it?
Yeah. So when the Canes were moving the ball in that last drive, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then he ended up throwing that interception, and then I'm like, whew, that's game right there.
Yep.
But congrats on a great season, both the teams. They're here to stay. They really are. So we've said that multiple times. But yeah, congrats on a spectacular season. Good luck again next season. And
yeah, I think both of these teams, like we've all said, they're here to stay. These teams are going to be really good next year. They are going to lose a lot of talent, though. There's a lot of seniors. That Indiana team was old. That Indiana team was as old as the youngest NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of redshirt seniors on there, guys that have been in the college football now for a lot of years. And that's what it took to win. It was the veteran leadership. It was experience, guys that have, played a long time and really were committed to the program that Cignetti's put together. And Cignetti, I think, has kind of cemented himself as the best coach in college football. This guy is unbelievable. What he did with JMU, what he did now here in Indiana. I mean, he literally took a program that 3 years ago was like 2-11 and turned them into a playoff team last year and now won a national championship. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what are they, 17-2 since he's been there?
Well, more than that. I think they're like 30-something-2 because they've had 2 full seasons. I mean,
last year he went 13-2, and I think this year he went undefeated, right? So it's probably 29-2.
They lost 3 games last year, I believe, because they lost the playoff game as well. 27-2 overall, but that's not the one I saw on the game. They were saying something bigger than that. But anyway, the guy is unbelievable. Oh, they're talking regular season. Okay. So 11-2 and then 15-0. Which even that's not accurate. But anyway, so they went 16-0 this year, and I believe they went 11-3 last year, which would make them 27-3 or 5, whatever. No, 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting off topic.
Math's not math.
So, yeah. But Cignetti is he's unbelievable, man. I don't know what he has figured out, but he has figured something out and it's working. And he's done the same thing every year so far. He's bringing in a transfer quarterback, an older player with veteran leadership.
He knows how to recruit and make sure people know that he's going to win.
Well, it is recruiting, but it's
to buy in.
Yeah, he's getting huge buy-in, and then on top of it, he's just sharpening that sword. I mean, it seems like he's disciplined his team very, very well. I mean, what was it? The story of the team. The story broke, I think, a few days before the Natty, where the guy left the game. Oh, I'm sick, just to go hang out with his girlfriend. And he said, "You're off the team. Goodbye."
Yeah,
like you're gonna play that kind of game. You don't play on my team, and you got to have that kind of accountability. And he's just brought it the entire time, everywhere he's been. And then, like you said earlier in the podcast, he knows the kind of coach he is. I am a college coach. I'm going to stay here, and I think that brings an extra vote of confidence for those players who are coming in, or maybe I'm going to have a shot at redshirting or getting a shot. Hey, he's going to give you the shot. And not only that, I'm going to be here for 4 years. So you want to try to come over here, I'm going to give you a full 4-year ride wherever I'm at.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest coaching turnarounds ever. I mean, really in any sport. I mean, he took an Indiana team that, like I said, this team was not good at all. This was one of those games where, when people would come play at Indiana, they would fill the stadium with their fans. It was just like, it was a home game for the visiting team every time in Indiana. And it is not that anymore. This program is here to stay. But what a great game. I mean, like you said, congratulations to both teams. Miami, you're here to stay, guys.
You just cemented the flag of Miami's back.
The U is back.
Miami is here, and we've been here, and now we're finally back to our spot.
And it's like Cristobal was saying, like, the U isn't back, the U is here.
Yep.
We're done talking about the past. The U is not back. The U is here. It's here and it's here to stay. And I'm excited for it. It's about time. Indiana, I hope you guys keep running through the Big Ten because I really like this Indiana team.
I don't hope.
I know you don't, but
let's go Gophers.
But I really, though, I do really like this Indiana team. And I'm a big fan of Cignetti. Props to you, man. Congratulations. You did it. You proved everyone wrong. Like you said, they said we couldn't do it at Indiana, but why not? Why not Indiana? I think this guy could do it anywhere. Yeah, he's just that kind of coach. But yeah, great game. Thanks for watching, guys. I mean, if you're liking the podcast, like we always say, go subscribe to the channel. We're getting up there in our subscribers, so let's keep that going. Let's get people committed. We're gonna keep putting content out for you guys. So just keep following along, keep liking, keep commenting. We love comments, good or bad. We love
or
them.
Hate. Yeah,
yep, we love them,
guys.
So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out.